Alright, so in this video I'm just going to show you how to simplify radicals and then a couple other problems that come up when you're working with radicals, keystone problems. Let me just rotate this so I can write straight. Okay, so when a problem asks you to simplify a radical, it doesn't mean to put it in your calculator and make it a decimal. So what we have to do is break it down. We have to factor the 80. So there are several different combinations of factors we could choose, but 8 and 10 seems like an obvious choice. And then as you're factoring, as you can see, you're just going to keep factoring until you can't factor anymore. So basically, we want to get down to all of our prime factors, right? Prime number is a number that cannot be divided by anything other than 1 in itself. So we've accomplished that here. Your next step is now to you're looking for pairs of numbers. So you're going to circle pair of 2s, and then I underline my singles. That's just the process that I do. If you have broken the number down, if you factor the number, like the 8, the 10, and the 4, you don't have to look at them. Okay, you're done with them. So now each pair that I find becomes one number and moves out. So this pair of 2s becomes 1, 2, and moves out of the house, which is the radical in this scenario. These 2s become 1, 2, and move out. Underneath the radical stay the singles. I don't know why I said that so weird. The singles stay underneath the radical. If you have more than one pair, more than one single, you just multiply. So 4 root 5 is your final answer. One way of checking that you did this correctly is use your calculator. If you find the square root of 80 and then put in the answer that you got, your decimal should match up. You guys can't see that because there you go. Should match up exactly. Okay? Now let's break down 96. So again, there's several different factors you could choose, and you will always end up with the same prime factors, so it doesn't matter if you choose something different from me. But 96 is 8 times 12, I think. I just blanked. Yep. And then this is 3 times 4, 2 and 2, 4 times 2, 2 and 2. Okay, so as you're doing this, just common mistakes that I find in these problems is like the factors are wrong. Like someone would put 12 as, I don't know, 4 times 4 or something. Like just watch your factors, right? I always go back kind of checking myself. Okay, so let's look for our pairs. I've got a pair of 2s, single 2, single 3. Alright, so each pair of 2s becomes 1, 2. So I'm going to have 2 times 2 on the outside. And then I have 2 times 3 on the inside. These are my singles here. So this becomes 4 root 6. Again, you can always check it in your calculator. Alright? So next problem here, number 3, says an expression is shown below. I have 3 root 39x. Which value of x makes the expression equivalent to 15 square root of 39? So I have 3 options here. And if it's a multiple choice question, you can use your calculator. So I'll show you both ways. So if I put in 15 times the square root of 39, that gives me this 93.67 number. So if I go back to my original and I plug all of these numbers in for x, I'm just going to find which decimal matches up, right? So let's try 3 square root of 39. Now this is times, like 39x is 39 times 9. Okay, that decimal doesn't match. I'll try 16. 3 square root of 39 times 16. Okay, doesn't match. 3 square root 39 times 25. Okay, that's a match, so it tells me that 25 is the answer. Now, another way of getting that answer, if you didn't have options in front of you, just write this out. Now, I'm trying to figure out what number, when I plug it in, makes this expression equivalent to this. So if you're thinking about what changes happen from here to here, there's a number coming out from underneath the square root being multiplied by 3, and it's giving you to 15. So you're thinking, okay, well 3 times what gives me 15? or 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Now you can see 5 wasn't our answer, but if the 5 is going to come out from underneath the square root, and you can think back to the problems we just did, if I'm going to pull a 5 out, I actually need 2 5s to be underneath the square root, because we're taking the square root of it. So I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So then, once we divide, then I'm just going to do 5 times 5, or 5 squared, and that gets me the 25. Okay? So just another way of figuring out algebraically if you're not given options to choose from. Okay, and the number 4 here. So I have the square root of 77x, and it says for which value of x should the expression be further simplified? So that just means which one of these numbers, if I plug it in for x, will allow me to do the process I did in numbers 1 and 2, like simplify the radical. Only one of them will give you, will allow you to simplify. So, for example, if I plug in 15, that's going to give me the square root of 77 times 15 is 1155. So, this is A. If I try to break this down, well, I'm going to have 15 and 77, right? Even though it's a large number, I already know 2 factors because I just multiplied them together to get 1155. This is 11 and 7, 5 and 3. Now, these are all prime numbers, and I have no pairs, right? I can't simplify that one. It's not my answer. Now, let's go to B. If I plug in 21, 77 times 21 is 16, 17. Again, it's a large number, but I already know factors. 21 and 77. 7 times 11. 7 times 3. Oh, look at that. I have a pair of 7s. This would simplify to 7 root 33, so that tells me B is my answer. Now, if you would try, if we plugged in 39, we plugged in 51, the same thing would happen that happened in letter A. You wouldn't find any pairs. Okay? Now, this process didn't really take that long, but a shortcut, something you can do to find the answer just a little bit more quickly, is if I take 77 and I factor it, that gives me 11 and 7. So I would look at my answers, and I would find the answer that has a factor of either 11 or 7. So for A, I have 15. This is 5 and 3. For B, with 21, this is 3 and 7, right? There's a match. For C, with 39, that would be 3 and 13. And for D, with 51, this is 3 and 17, right? So B is the only option, the only one that has a factor, in common with the 77. So there you go. Hope those make sense. Let me know if you got any questions. Thanks for watching.